Hey guys, and welcome to the MrMaple Show. Guys, if you love Japanese maples, make sure you're subscribed here. We love them, we're passionate about them, and we put out daily content all about Japanese maples. We're MrMaple.com, a family mail order business. We ship Japanese maples directly to your door, and we do the largest selection of Japanese maples in the country. So check us out on MrMaple.com. Now, guys, when it comes to Japanese maples, we're approaching fall. There are 3 things you need to be stopping doing right now. It's in September. You know, fall starts at the end of September. I think this year in 2025, it's like September 22nd or something like that. So we're getting close. I'm gonna tell you 3 things you need to be stopping doing this fall that really will help your Japanese maples thrive and do better. One thing, and this will just help you out especially for beginners. Let's go ahead and stop worrying about those leaves. Those leaves that might have a little bit of powdery mildew, might have some holes in them from spider mites or something. I've got ways to treat them and ways to deal with those situations here on the MrMaple Show that'll definitely help you. You can go check out those individual videos. But let's stop worrying about them because you're about to get a reset. And that's one of the things I love about deciduous Japanese maples is if the leaves look bad going into fall, don't worry. You're gonna get some fall color with what's left. It's gonna drop those leaves, and in the spring, it's gonna leaf back out. Now, what we often encourage, if trees may have dropped their leaves in the summer, sometimes we say, give some fertilizer, and that'll let those new growth flushes come right back out. That leads me into number 2. We don't want to do that right now. We don't want those trees flushing. So what we want to make sure we're stopping is fertilizing. Fertilizing can cause major issues if you're fertilizing in the fall. Fertilizing promotes growth. Growth is active. That means lots of juices flowing up and down the tree, and that can mean that if you're active in the fall, 1, you're not gonna have good fall color. 2, that tree is gonna be too active in those winter months when it's getting down cold. Here in Western North Carolina, we can get down -5, sometimes -10 degrees during the winter. And if you've got an active, fresh, juicy new growth that's not hardened off, guess what? We're gonna have damage. Those juices, they're gonna freeze in the bark, and that tree could possibly die or have a lot of dieback in it. So we want to avoid those fertilizers in the fall. Fertilizing in the spring, good thing, check. Fertilizing in the fall, bad thing. You don't wanna be doing that going into the fall. It causes a lot of issues, and that's what we want to avoid. We want your Japanese maples to be beautiful and look great, and while you can fertilize, even with some liquid fertilizers in late summer, we're now at fall. So guys, let's cut off any of those liquid fertilizers, and you sure definitely don't want to be putting out any granulars because granulars can last 180 days. Check those packaging. The packaging will tell you how long those fertilizers will last, and 180 days from now, guys, that's winter. That's winter. That's not even fall. So not only will you have bad fall color, but in the spring, you're likely gonna have a dead tree. So let's avoid fertilizers in the fall. And along those same lines of thinking, let's avoid pruning. Pruning, you'll read, very educated people will often do their pruning in the fall. And with Japanese maples, that's a bad idea. You want to prune in the spring, late winter, early spring. That may be contradictory to some of the people out there listening who are, avid gardeners who may have pruned their Japanese maples in the fall. Let me tell you why. In the springtime, we prune a Japanese maple. The plant is in an active healing stage. It will actually heal your prune wounds, because what you're doing is you're creating a wound on the tree when you're pruning, and that wound will heal in 7 to 8 days. Late winter, early spring. Right now in the fall, 28 days. What you're doing is you're creating a wound out there for bacteria and diseases to spread throughout your garden. Because when you're starting to prune, you're gonna prune on these, then you're gonna move to the next, prune on those, come back later, keep pruning around your garden. If you get bacteria in there because those wounds are open for too long, you're gonna spread that all around your garden. Fall, bad idea for pruning for Japanese maples. Maybe other plants that I'm not that familiar with, you could do that with. Japanese maples, fall pruning is a bad idea. We wanna prune if you're trying to reduce growth in the summer, it's healing quickly. And if you're trying to promote growth, best time is that late winter, early spring. And you're gonna have more success with your Japanese maples, because when you prune too, you actually also promote growth. So often if you're pruning a tree, all of a sudden that tree's gonna start putting on small flushes of growth. Well guys, that's again what we don't want during the going into the winter, going into fall. Bad fall color and soft wood that'll get damaged in the winter. So that's the other reason why we don't want to prune in the fall. I hope you've enjoyed today's video on the 3 things I would make sure you stop right now in the fall. And 1, worrying about those leaves, you're about to get a reset. 2, fertilizing, bad idea, fresh growth, not a good time. And then lastly, you don't want to be pruning. Pruning promotes growth. Again, we just mentioned that with the fertilizer, it's a bad idea. And secondly, you're opening those wounds on your Japanese maples to a longer period of time to catch fungus and disease. So y'all, make sure to subscribe here on the Mr. Maple Show. We try to help you out with your gardening tips on Japanese maples and daily content all about them. If we're talking about top 20 lists on our podcast on the Mr. Maple Show, we do that. If you were going through and giving you our top 5s where we introduce you to people and get their top 5 Japanese maples, we do that here as well. We do garden walkthroughs, nursery, greenhouse walkthroughs, and we do cultivar highlights where we go in and look at all the Japanese maples we have and tell you about a specific cultivar where we try to get in the garden and show you specimens that will look like, you can see what it'll look like in your garden. Y'all, thanks so much for watching today. Make sure you're subscribed, like this video, share with your gardening friends. Take care, God bless, and have a great day.